For over 25 years, Carter Ranch had peacefully shared a long boundary with a nearby residential neighborhood. I respected my neighbors and always maintained the fence line. Everything changed after a new HOA board took control. One morning, I noticed unfamiliar vehicles parked close to my property line. Several people wearing HOA identification vests were measuring the fence and taking photographs. No one had contacted me beforehand. When I politely asked what they were doing, they explained they were planning improvements near the shared boundary. I requested copies of any approved plans before work began. They promised to send the documents. Weeks passed without receiving any paperwork. Instead, I found fresh survey stakes placed close to my fence line. That convinced me it was time to verify my own property records. My surveyor confirmed that every fence post stood exactly where it should. The property boundaries matched the original recorded survey perfectly. Knowing the facts gave me confidence moving forward. The surveyor handed me certified boundary maps, along with fresh GPS measurements. Every marker confirmed that my fence line had remained unchanged for decades. I safely stored copies both digitally and on paper. The next morning, I noticed fresh tire tracks running alongside my property line. Someone had driven close to the fence during the night. I photographed the tracks before they disappeared. I installed several additional security cameras covering every entrance and the entire boundary fence. Motion-activated lights were also added for better nighttime visibility. Everything was designed to document activity, not confront it. A few evenings later, my cameras recorded several HOA representatives walking near the shared boundary. They never crossed onto my land, but the recording showed exactly where everyone had been. The footage was automatically backed up. I shared the survey maps and camera footage with my attorney. He advised me to continue documenting everything while avoiding unnecessary confrontation. Preparation would always be more valuable than arguments. Not long afterward, the HOA requested a meeting to discuss the shared property line. I agreed, bringing my surveyor, attorney, and complete documentation. Facts would speak louder than opinions. During the meeting, Karen suggested relocating part of the fence to create additional landscaping space. My surveyor immediately presented certified measurements, showing the fence already matched the recorded boundary. The discussion quickly shifted. The HOA security manager questioned the camera system along the property line. I explained that every camera was installed entirely on my own land and pointed only toward my property. The sheriff later confirmed the setup complied with local regulations. To make the boundary even clearer, I replaced several worn fence posts and installed highly visible property markers. Bright, reflective signs now identified the private property line from both directions. There was no room for confusion. Over the next few weeks, no further questions arose about the boundary. The new markers and updated documentation made the property line easy to recognize. Even neighboring residents appreciated the improved visibility. The county later completed an independent review of the shared boundary. Their findings matched my survey exactly. Having multiple professional opinions provided everyone with confidence. Karen thanked the survey team for clarifying the property lines. She acknowledged that the certified maps answered every remaining question. The discussion became much more cooperative. With the issue resolved, the HOA and ranch agreed to keep open communication for any future projects near the shared boundary. Everyone wanted to avoid misunderstandings. Respect replaced tension. That fall, we planted native trees along portions of the shared boundary without affecting either property survey line. The project improved privacy while respecting every legal boundary. It became a benefit for both sides. Watching the sunset over Carter Ranch, I realized that careful preparation had protected far more than a fence line. Good records, respectful communication, and patience had preserved years of good neighbor relationships. Sometimes that's the best outcome anyone can hope for. A month later, the county officially recorded the updated boundary verification. Every document confirmed the property line had never changed. The complete file was added to the public land records for future reference. After everything was finalized, I organized every survey, permit, photograph, and security recording into one secure archive. Having complete records meant I would always be prepared if questions ever came up again. The sheriff stopped by the ranch to check on everything one final time. He complimented the updated security improvements and clear property markings. It was satisfying to hear that everything met county standards. Word spread quickly among neighboring ranch owners about the importance of certified surveys. Several families scheduled their own property inspections. Good preparation was becoming a community habit. That fall, the county invited me to speak at a property rights workshop. I shared how calm communication and proper documentation solved the entire situation. Many attendees appreciated the practical advice. The HOA board later updated its procedures for communicating with neighboring landowners. Future projects would require written notice before work began near shared boundaries. It was a positive change for everyone involved. Spring arrived, and the trees planted along the property line began to grow. The natural privacy barrier blended beautifully with the ranch landscape. The once disputed boundary now looked peaceful. Neighbors from both sides occasionally waved while walking near the shared fence. Friendly conversations replaced earlier uncertainty. Mutual respect had become the new normal. Looking back, I realized the strongest property line isn't built with steel or concrete. It's built with accurate records, respectful communication, and patience. Those principles protected my ranch far better than arguments ever could. Every evening, I still walked the same fence line my family had cared for decades. Nothing about the land had changed, but my appreciation for preparation certainly had. Peace of mind was worth every effort. As another season began, Carter Ranch continued operating just as it always had. Hard work, honesty, and respect for the land remained the family's foundation.